week the show got canceled. We had a little technical difficulty earlier, but we got him here. We're going to talk about the death of Prodigy and Noriega, Manuel Noriega, the leader who died by the numbers earlier this year. I had to work on that if you caught it. He's got some notes. He's been following the work for a long time. He's called into the show before, so thank you for joining us, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, man. Glad we got you on.
Yeah, hey, sorry about those issues earlier. I don't know what was going on.
It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, I just, speaking of, I remember when you were talking about Chinaman earlier, Fresh Kid Ice.
Right.
And I just want to get straight to it. With Prodigy, he died at 42, and Chinaman Fresh Kid Ice, he died 42 days later.
Huh.
Yeah, I just want to get into Tupac. You can stop me anytime you want. Tupac predicted the death of Prodigy on the song When We Ride on Our Enemies. Set my plan in mode, time to exterminate my foes. Pay attention, here's a word to those that rob me. I murder you, that I run a train on Mob D. Don't F with me. You barely living, don't you got sickle cell? See you having a seizure on stage, you ain't feeling well. Tupac, he predicted all this stuff. He had another song called If You're a Bad Boy Then You Die, put another contract on Mob D. On another song he said, I'll put Jay-Z and Mob D dead in the dirt. So Prodigy gets sick after he did a performance on stage in Las Vegas on 6/17/2017. The day after the movie All Eyes on Me came out, a movie based on the life of Tupac.
Couldn't be
Tupac's
more perfect.
birthday was on...
Hey, real quick, I just want to add something as you go along. Okay, so I've been doing my research, cleaning up my book. I've added some terminology that's going to be really important when you guys explain these topics to your friend. Divination is an important word to understand. Divination is prophesizing, predicting the future, forecasting the future, and all throughout history it was really important to the Greeks. This language, numbers into words, has been used for prophesizing, which is just what we see. We see how things are being uncoded by a numerical pattern that seemed to have been planned and foretold in things even such as Tupac songs. And for all the people who've seen all my work on Tupac, I mean, everything about Tupac's life was by the numbers. His death, the release of his albums, just like pretty much all of these entertainers that are part of these major labels. So just think about that as we're also just talking about the words that Tupac put in his music that forecasts the future. And here we're talking about the death of Prodigy, who died at 42, again in Las Vegas, the weekend of the Tupac movie releasing on his birthday weekend. So, sorry, friend, back to you. I just want to throw that in there.
Right. No, I'm glad you did. Tupac also predicted there would be a black president in 1998, 10 years before we got the puppet Obama.
Changes, hope and change. I was saying that back in 2008. I was saying, can't you guys see this? That song came out 10 years ago, man. Hope and change, changes.
Right, so how does he know all this unless he knew in advance? So he declares war on the whole East Coast. The only group he was cool with was the boot camp clique. It's ironic that the leader of, arguably the leader of BCC was Sean Price. Some people argue it's Buckshot. But he was found there on 8/8/2015, the same day the NWA movie came out.
That was Sean Price, right?
Sean Price, the leader of the boot camp clique. He was the only one that was the boot camp clique. They were the only ones that were cool with Tupac.
Yeah.
So the leader of Junior Mafia, the person who made Bad Boy, Biggie, dead. The leader of Mobb Deep, Prodigy, dead. Tupac did say he would kill all his enemies. Sean Price, dead at 43. RIP equals 43 in Gematria. He was not his enemy, but is still interested. At one point, Tupac, he dissed everybody. De La Soul, Fugees, Chino XL, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, The Brat, So Def Records, LL Cool J, Lil Kim, Lil C's, Puff Daddy, Jimmy Henchman, Dr. Dre. Prodigy, he had beef with Jay-Z, the Killer and Soul Collector. You know, Prodigy could have been a sacrifice for Jay-Z's new set of twins.
The Gemini twins. And I just want everyone to realize that astrology, Gemini symbols, the twins, and they had twins in Gemini.
Right. Like how much more perfect can it be? During Prodigy's last performance in Vegas, he looked fine. I'm gonna tell you word for word what Havoc said. Okay, this is word for word, Havoc's word. I just had a progress report on him the night before that. He good. He walking around. He joking. He eating food, and somebody gonna say that he passed away like that. I knew it was a lie. Havoc said. From what I heard, he threw up and it went into his lungs. That's the official part of what I heard, and I still have questions. What does that mean? He was fine. So Havoc, which is friends for life, doesn't go to his funeral. I can't find a picture of Havoc at that funeral. His Prodigy's body, I mean, I don't think it was cremated, but there's no pictures of his body at the funeral. So, to me, all these people are faking their death. Prodigy, Chester Bennington, your boy from Soundgarden, and it's just to sell records. You know what I mean? It's just one big ploy to get everybody upset and sad. And then, like you were saying earlier, Linkin Park's records, they skyrocketed. Same thing with Mobb Deep. Same thing with Prince. Same thing with Chris Cornell and Soundgarden.
All. They all do. It's a formula.
I can go on and on, right? On record, it's known that Prodigy, this is his hip-hop history, that he was the first person to say the word Illuminati. He was the first person that used that word in a rap. And it was on LL Cool J's song, Who Shot Ya? It came out in late 95. Now, I think the reason he didn't have the commercial success, although he was a legend, to people that follow hip-hop, is because he was exposing the agenda of the Zionist Jews, which is likely the reason he was murdered, if he's really dead. That's the part that we don't know. Are they faking their death? Are they really being killed?
Right.
So, it's like the rapper Noriega says. You can go three ways to gain success in the music industry, in the hip-hop industry. The ritual sacrifice route, the homosexual route, or you can follow your own route and be your own man. Nori decided to go his own route, which is the reason he has not had the commercial success ever since he went his own route. Same thing with Prodigy. So they create a manufactured East Coast, West Coast war. Mobb Deep and Component Noriega, they were the first to strike back after West and Tupac. This was at a time when most East Coast rappers, they did not want to get involved with Tupac, or they were too scared to retaliate. And Mobb Deep and Prodigy, they were the first to retaliate. And it was just another manufactured war. It was just to bring hip-hop attention and to bring them to the forefront of music. That's why hip-hop today is the top-selling genre in the music business. The East Coast, West Coast war had everything to do with this. I've been investigating Tupac's murder for over 20 years. It's a hoax. He's still alive. Which Prodigy is hard to tell because it's so fresh. I don't know if it's a hoax or... Yeah.
I've come to be aware that it is... Nevada's a state where you can legally fake your death. And again, they both died in that state. And also this year on... Tupac's birthday.
Really fake your death?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, look that up. It's like, why is that even a law in the books? I guess, somebody needed that as an out in the past. Nevada, interesting state. But
right, and we don't even...
Yeah. I was going to say, on Tupac's birthday, Trump made that comment about Tupac's aunt living down in Cuba. I just wonder. I wonder what's going on in Cuba.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and then, okay, now maybe Tupac was a soul collector like Jay-Z. Okay, what's interesting is 4 out of the 10 outlaws are dead. All these people associated with Pac in one way or another, they're all dead. Stretch, Biggie Smalls, Orlando Anderson, Yaki Gaddafi, his brother, Johnny J, the producer, Frank Alexander, a bodyguard, Hussein Fatal of the Outlaws, Russell Poole, a detective that was supposed to be investigating the murder, Big Sight, another member of the Outlaws, MC Breed, Afeni Shakur, Kato, his friend, Nate Dogg, all associated with Tupac and all supposedly dead, right? Johnny J, he produced Tupac's music for many years, and he dropped dead after committing suicide, jumping from a high-level floor in a jail cell. How did he get on the roof? You know, like everyone associated with Tupac has met their demise in some capacity. And we don't even know if that's his real name. We don't know if Hussein Crooks or Tupac was his real name.
Right.
You know? So, but I just want to talk about Noriega right quick. The real Noriega.
Right. He died earlier this year.
Yeah. Manuel Noriega died on JFK's 100th birthday. The former Panamanian dictator and puppet of American imperialism was an ally and CIA asset until he was spun by the media and transformed into the embodiment of evil, the enemy to democracy, deposed in the invasion of Panama on the 20th of December of 1989, and imprisoned in Florida on trumped-up charges of drug trafficking. The tables turn, the story goes, when Noriega refused to participate in aiding the U.S.-backed Contra terrorists ousting the leftist Sandinistas in Nicaragua, a situation that was ultimately about the CIA controlling the shipment of cocaine into America to create the war on drugs as a war on poverty, thus facilitating the rise of the prison industrial complex. To his dying day, Noriega claimed he was a victim of a conspiracy. This is his words. You have to create a problem in order to solve it, he stated in a Newsweek interview, neatly summarizing the age-old Illuminati strategy. The ongoing 138 coding, Manuel Antonio Noriega Moreno equals 138. War on drugs equals 138. Crack cocaine equals 138. General Noriega equals 183. He died 3 months and 18 days after his 83rd birthday, and 8 months and 13 days before his next. Saddam equals 83. He was killed 3 years, 18 days after his capture. The Central Intelligence Agency equals 380. CIA asset equals 38. Escobar equals 308/83. Noriega died 3,803 days after the death of Saddam Hussein. Noriega was replaced by Guillermo Endara equals 308. Noriega equals 314. Was maximum leader for exactly 314 weeks. Here's another example of a pie. Republic of Panama equals 27. Its capital, Panama City, Panama equals 227. The event that led to his disposal was the Iran-Contra scandal. Iran-Contra scandal equals 227. Noriega's replacement, Guillermo Endara, equals 722. Died 7,222 days after the invasion. A span of 10,031 weeks and 4 days. United States of America equals 314. Land of the free, home of the brave equals 314. Weapons of mass destruction equals 314. The United States had maintained numerous military bases and a substantial garrison throughout the Canal Zone to protect the American-owned Panama Canal and to maintain American control of this strategically important area. The U.S. had long-standing relationships with General Noriega, who served as a U.S. intelligence asset and paid informant of the CIA from 1967, including the period when Bush was head of the CIA from 76 and 77. Thousands of Panamanians were killed. The Commission for the Defense of Human Rights in Central America estimated 3,000 deaths of civilians for the invasion of Panama. It provoked international outrage. Some countries charged that the U.S. had committed an act of aggression by invading Panama and was trying to conceal a new manifestation of its interventionist policy of force in Latin America. I mean, that's just a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying, Zach?
Right, and it's mind-blowing, and you did a great job. You need to start a blog. I mean, that is really convincing what you just presented for Tupac and Noriega. I mean, that evidence is overwhelming, so. You've done a lot of 314s, too. Hey, we're about to go to commercial.
Yeah.
We're about to go to commercial.
Okay,
yeah, we'll stay over the break. When we come back from the break, we'll take a few more calls, finish up Jonathan's call.
Okay, gotcha.
The music's supposed to be kicking in. You know what? Maybe the music's not going to play on this break. Sometimes it doesn't. Just go ahead. Just run with it until the break comes.
All right. All right. Let's see. A lot of people from Panama looked up to Noriega as some kind of rebel against America.
Extendivite really works. Just listen to what some people...
New World Order Agenda, featuring news, commentary, and analysis from experts, authors, and activists. Visit AwakeningLibertyShow.com for a complete calendar of upcoming events and guests. Awakening Liberty with Sean Carone, freeing one manipulated mind at a time.
Is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Truth Seeker, already the last half hour. The show always goes by too quick. We're going to finish up our call with Jonathan, who has some awesome research he's just given us on the death of Prodigy, all the people who've died in connection to Tupac, and also now we're talking about Noriega, the Panamanian leader, or another New World Order puppet, as Jonathan just correctly called it. So Jonathan's here with us. Please, you got the floor again, friend.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up on Noriega. That chemical and modern weapons were used in the Gulf War. So why would you need chemical and highly sophisticated warfare? Deploy more than 20,000 troops to eliminate a single man. Noriega declared war in the U.S., and 3 days later he was on his knees, hiding in the church. And he was thrown out there. He was thrown out of there within 3 more days. So they overdid it by testing a bunch of weapon systems meant for dealing with Saddam Hussein on Panama. So what you got to consider is this is all a show. It was all a show to get rid of Noriega. They harmed Panama when they trained, helped, and allied them for years earlier so they could have control of the region. The meddling was unwarranted, colonial, short-sighted, immoral, and harmful to the welfare of the people. So basically, in a Spanish-speaking country with a black population when poverty is widespread, the Panamanian poor bore the brunt of the invasion. Like I told you, almost over 3,000 people dead. Right. A straightforward assault, evidence of the U.S. being mesmerized with firepower. As one of the U.S. commanders of the operation later put it, we all have these new gadgets, laser-guided missiles and stealth fighters, and we're designed to use that stuff. Implementing a truth commission in Panama hardly constitutes dragging the U.S. to trial for its murderous fun with gadgets. While more incriminating history can be exhumed, the harder it will be for the U.S. to hide behind honorable intentions in the future. And that's the truth. You know, they just go into another country, start blowing things up. Nothing's ever justified. You know, killing innocent people. It's like, remember back in the day when Professor Griff got kicked out of Public Enemy?
Right.
Yeah, he got kicked out because this is what he said. The Jews are wicked, and we can prove this. He said the Jews are responsible for the majority of the wickedness that goes on across the globe. He dared Jews to send their... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, that's why it's so sick. I mean, if you know the U.S. history, that's what we do. We bomb brown people all over the world, and then we make news headlines about how awful it is some irrelevant dictators firing a missile into the ocean. I mean, who cares? Who cares?
That's right.
It's just... Also, I just want to express something. It's so obvious what goes on in this country. It's just so obvious what goes on. We have these 6 psychopaths in Washington, D.C. who make the craziest decisions. They just make war for no reason, always some bogus, made-up lie excuse to justify some wrongdoing. There's never any evidence for it. Half the time afterwards, they even tell us that they were wrong and it was a mistake, but there's no apologies made. It just goes on as if, you know, as if we can do no wrong, or if when we do wrong, it doesn't even matter. And meanwhile, you know, you have a populace that just sits back and makes excuses the same way the government does, and tells themselves they're good Christian people and they're just doing what they can do, and it's just so sick. I mean, these are the reasons I started speaking out in the first place and becoming awake. It wasn't about numbers or what was coded in the words. It was just witnessing the obvious. I mean, how many stories are there of the U.S. going and invading some country, killing a bunch of people needlessly, starting some war? It's nonstop. And we sit here and we tell our teenagers to go join the military, and you know, we watch the football game with all this nice, flashy advertising for the U.S. military. It's just, I knew about this stuff when I was a teenager, thanks to having a mother that told me what a warmonger of a nation I lived in. I mean, my mom, she doesn't know a lot, but she knew that this nation was a war empire and a sick machine. And anyone who just looks, it's undeniable. The nation began out of a genocide of the native people. So, and it's all part of a sick cycle that's never been stopped. And Naysay, who just called in a minute ago, I love Naysay, and him and I don't agree on everything. I'm just like no one agrees on everything, but sometimes he'll say things that are just so radically different from how I feel. But as a native man, I mean, he was saying how we can't rise up, but what I'm saying is, man, if we don't rise up, I mean, how many more centuries of needless war and genocide are we going to wait out? So...
I hear you. Yeah. Hey, you know, I'm going to tell you the greatest quote I ever heard. This is the greatest quote of all time, in my opinion. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity.
Right.
That was something that Martin Luther King said.
Right.
And you know what I was thinking? I was thinking too, right? The only difference between being out here and being in jail is that out here the bars are invisible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You get a few more privileges too, but I mean, the metaphor is right, man, because we're slaves. We're in a system. You know,
I don't want to get rich or die trying. I want to get free or die trying.
That's right. That's the quote.
You know, that's why I'd rather be broke. I'd rather be broke than be in prison or dead. You know, selling dope. You know how many people in this hood they go to jail for selling dope? I mean, it's like you say. It's like you always say, cognitive dissonance. You hit a person with the facts, and they'll walk away with their opinions.
Right. Right.
You know, that's how this world works, backwards.
Right. Right. Man, well, I'm glad you have your mindset. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got your discussion tonight. Well, we're gonna have to have you back on again. Keep doing homework the way you're doing it, man. That was really. I got to get that full list from you. That's an incredible list you got there. So.
Oh yeah, I'll get it to you. Yeah, we'll get it straight next time.
All right, man. You have a good night. I appreciate it. You take care.
All right, thanks. Appreciate you.
Always. You're welcome. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm